Thanks indeed, Christine. Thanks indeed, viewers. We're going to go back a day, back to when history was made. Why? Because, viewers, unseemly politics is breaking out. The ceremony that you've all witnessed on Sunday was momentous. It was an ode to an inclusive democracy founded in the diversity of Bharat. A multi-faith prayer, a tribute to Dharma, all under the roof of a glittering building that is a combination of a number of artistic influences, drawn from every creed, every faith. However, not everyone saw the inauguration from an inclusive prism. From the Samajwadi Party leader, Swami Prasad Maurya, who called the prayer ceremony a sign of Brahminical imposition, to the AIMIM president Assaduddin Owaisi, who says it's unfortunate that only priests of one religion were allowed inside the Lok Sabha, or the TMC that taunted the BJP with a tweet depicting the Prime Minister surrounded by priests in saffron robes, in contrast to the picture of Nehru in Parliament with his cabinet. The RJD, of course, has gone a step further on Sunday, comparing the Parliament to a coffin and the Sengol of righteousness to a mace wielded by a villain in a popular Bollywood movie. Let me show you that tweet by the RJD, viewers. That tweet, there on the left of your screens, in the middle of your screens, viewers, you can see there is a Hindi movie villain, very prominent one, holding a mace. And this dates back to at least a decade and a half when this film was made. Now, viewers, let's go over some of the reactions that have come. The Assaduddin Owaisis of the world and others who have been venting their spleen. Listen in.
इंडिया का कोई रिलीजन नहीं है. इंडिया सब रिलीजन को मानता है. अगर कोई रिलीजन को नहीं मानता, इंडिया उसको भी मानता है. मगर अफसोस हुआ देश के प्रधानमंत्री, आप सिर्फ एक ही मजहब के लोगों को लेकर गए लोकसभा में. मिस्टर मोदी, आप हिंदुओं के भी प्राइम मिनिस्टर हैं, मुसलमानों के भी हैं, ईसाइयों के भी हैं, सिखों के लिए भी हैं, आदिवासियों के लिए आप सब 130 को जनता के वजीर आजम हैं.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी का न लोकतंत्र में विश्वास है, न जनता पर विश्वास है. इसीलिए आगे बढ़ रही है और साथ ही साथ संविधान के विरोध में तंत्र निरपेक्ष भावना से हटकर जो एक धर्म विशेष के लोगों को महिमा मंडित करने का काम कर रही है, इससे लगता है कि वह न केवल राजतंत्र की ओर बढ़ रही है, बल्कि ब्राह्मणवाद की ओर भी बढ़ रही है.
It's interesting, viewers, but if you were to just hear Owaisi and Maurya, you would think that India has turned into a Hindu state, a Hindu Rajya. That's the feeling one gets from this disinformation campaign that has been launched, because what they say, of course, is contrary to fact. We know that a multi-faith prayer was held on the premises of Parliament. We also know, viewers, that the Sengol is not some denotative object, the art that points or is linked to one particular faith. It only, viewers, is a symbol of a dharmic tradition, and dharma is not religion. Anyhow, these were not the only two, as I told you, viewers. The RJD that also had yesterday compared the new parliament, the shape of the new parliament, to a coffin, tried to outdo itself today with that photograph of that villainous mace-wielding actor on the extreme right. And then, of course, Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee, there was an image that has been floating around the net for a while now, and she plucked it out and she tweeted it. An image that compares the events of 1947 with last Sunday to hint at glorification of one religion over the others. or to suggest that Nehru was surrounded by cabinet ministers and Modi's cabinet includes a bunch of saffron-clad seers. I mean, that's the kind of visual imagery that the TMC chief wanted to paint, locating Mr. Modi in the heart of some sort of a saffron renaissance. Of course, this is an attempt at cherry-picking by the opposition. It curiously ignores how religious leaders of 11 other faiths too were invited to offer prayers on this occasion. However, some in the opposition are still trying to mislead the public today. Viewers, the Congress won't tell you this. And I first want you to listen to what the Congress says, and perhaps then I will explain and put that comment by the Congress in context. Let's first listen into what the Congress said.
इस तरह से विपक्ष को मजबूर कर दिया बाहर रहने के लिए और धर्मों के लोगों को बाहर रहने के लिए, तो जैन धर्म के, सिख धर्म के, इस्लाम और कई तमाम ऐसे धर्म के लोग वंचित हो गए। तो आरएसएस जो चाहता था कि विभाजन हो जाए, तो आज विभाजन हो गया जब नई संसद का उद्घाटन हो रहा है।
Viewers, the Congress probably wouldn't want to tell you this, but the ceremony that marked the installation of the Sengol inside the Lok Sabha was very similar to the events that transpired in 1947 when the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru was presented the Sengol. As per a Hindu article published in August 11, 1947, a special Hindu ritual was arranged by the Adhinam to Lord Shiva to confer the Lord's blessings on Pandit Nehru. Puja prasadams were supposed to be presented to Pandit Nehru along with the sacred Sengol so that the opposition's claim be taken at face value. Or is this just deliberate disinformation, a campaign to divide, to distort, to vilify, to suggest that India is now only the preserve of one particular faith above all others? Viewers, let's open this up for debate tonight. We are going to engage with this subject and hopefully we can all maintain our calm and at least, where possible, stick to the facts. So let me open this up and ask some basic questions. And my first question I would like to pose is to Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, how do you see this campaign that is being waged by the opposition in stark communal terms, I would say, a day after the inauguration?
Good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. The way I see this, Rahul, is through 3 points. Very briefly. Number one, I think you've elaborated on this enough time since yesterday, so I'll be very brief on this. I'm actually truly shocked at the ignorance of history at display out here. You've shown it. People have proven it. Freedom at Midnight has to be read, and you would realize that Nehru was not only handed the Sengol, he was smeared with Vibhuti as well. And both he and the President, Babu Rajendra Prasad, entered the then Constituent Assembly of Parliament after a prolonged Hindu ceremony that involved chanting of mantras and tolling of bells. What are they talking about? And the same Nehru wanted a horoscope to be made. So much for his not believing in Hindu rituals when Rajiv Gandhi was born. These are all documented facts. Number two, now to the more pressing problem, because, you know, this is what is the nub of the issue. I'm afraid, Rahul, such rampant Hindu phobia is the order of the day. First it was the Congress, then it was the RJD, then Sharad Pawar, and now Mamta Didi. Except that when Mamta Didi dog whistles, because of the present situation in Bengal, Hindus have to run for their lives. Remember how she warned Hindus to not venture in quote-unquote Muslim areas? Remember the proud boast of the TMC's Fareed Hakim recently that his area is mini Pakistan. Remember TMC's Sheikh Alam, who boasted that 4 Pakistans can be created if 30% Muslims come together. Remember the recent horrible violence in Howrah in response to Nupur Sharma. Remember 2019 Diamond Harbour violence that led Hindu families to flee. Remember the severe indictment of Bengal government by the Calcutta High Court regarding post-poll violence. The fact that police did not register FIR in 60% of the cases should have shamed TMC and its Albert Spears. Remember the blood-curdling sworn affidavits of Hindu victims? Remember how the media was scared, the judges were recusing? Rahul, please understand, all this is logical conclusion. Mob strength comes from an appeasing and cowardly state. You don't believe me? Let us very briefly look at what Mamta Didi has been doing. Did she say Batla encounter was fake? Yes. Did she oppose CAA? Yes. Did she appoint a Muslim on Tarkeshwar Temple Board? Yes. Did she provide midday meal scheme dining hall for only those schools having 70% or more minority students? Yes. Did she curtail time duration permitted for Durga idol and immersion and make way for Muharram procession? Yes. Did she grant 2.6 crores of taxpayers' money to Furfura Sharif? Yes. Did she promise to give land to imams for construction of houses? Yes. Did she exclusively pay more than 30,000 imams, 2,500 per month and over 15,000 muezzin, 1,500 per month? Yes. This is all the problem that is happening and now that is spreading. This is Hindu phobia. And finally, very briefly, all this is falling very nicely in the lap of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If only they and the Hindus at large would realize that Narendra Modi has done more for Muslims than he has for Hindus. That is why I call Hindus at the 8th class citizens of this country. उनके लिए बस ये perfunctorily हो रहा है. जो real issues है वो solve नहीं कर रहे हैं उनके लिए कोई भी.
Well, viewers, let me just put this into a larger context here and once again bring out the facts, because facts have fans and facts bring all of us closer to the truth. And they are immutable. At least in my book, they are. Now, viewers, let me first go over the cast of individuals from other faiths. There was a pastor, an imam, Sikh clergies, Buddhist monk, Jain monk, Jewish rabbi. All of them were there, viewers. In fact, 11 heads of different faiths. The Sikh Guru Balbir Singh, who participated in the multi-faith ceremony, expressed his appreciation for the new parliament building, emphasizing the importance of unity for the nation's progress. He remarked, and I quote, "It is a very good thing that the new parliament has been built. I keep myself away from politics, but I believe everyone should work unitedly for the growth of the country," unquote. And here is what
Rahul,
architect...
5 seconds, Rahul. Just, sorry, I forgot to mention, please pardon me. For all those people who are saying all these Brahmins have entered, they don't even realize that Adhinams are non-Brahmins.
Yeah,
they are
true.
OBCs.
Yes, that of course is something that I was going to elaborate on. But also, viewers, let me also tell you that architect Bimal Patel, and it's a shame that he's had to actually make this statement, and can tell you the amount of pressure Hindus perhaps are under in this country to constantly prove their secularism. Even though, viewers, we would be the first as a people to accommodate just about any point of view. Even those who call shivlings, as you know, viewers, rocks or worse. Let me quote Bimal Patel. "I say the plot is triangular. That does not help. Well, it's a sacred geometry. The shape was based on structures such as the Sri Yantra, which is a form of diagram used for worship, meditation and devotion. The trinities and jali patterns found in Mughal architecture. It's Islamic in nature, viewers." So even poor old Bimal Patel has had to emphasize that the building itself is an ode to our diversity. Now, when it is part of the cement, the brick, the mortar, this rich diversity, then where is this question coming from? And therefore, I want to first begin with Riju Datta, national spokesperson of the TMC. Dr. Riju Datta, if I'm not mistaken. Now, he's a very, very articulate young man, and I'm sure he'll be able to explain very articulately and perhaps with some amount of fidelity to fact why the Chief Minister of Bengal tweeted what she did today. So, sir, what possessed the TMC to tweet such a meme? What's the thinking?
Okay. Thank you, Rahul. Now, first, I'm glad that everybody is acknowledging that the picture tweeted by Mamata Banerjee is a real picture, unlike unlike the wrestler's image that has been morphed by the BJP IT cell. So now, coming to the topic of the debate. Now, we are probably the only party who did not object to the Sengol. We have nothing against it. It's a part of the rich cultural heritage of southern India. We had no problems with all, religious prayers which were performed outside the parliament, outside the halls of the parliament, within the campus. No problem. We had no problem with the Adinams coming to Delhi a day before the inauguration, meeting the Prime Minister, blessing him, giving him the Sengol, and the Prime Minister giving a speech, starting with Har Har Mahadev. Very good. No objection. But what happened the next day is what created all this fuss. First of all, 40% of India's representation, 21 political parties, were not part of it. The first citizen, the custodian of the constitution, was an Adivasi, a woman, not invited. No problems. But then what happened was BJP, which has become a party of sycophants. I am telling it on record, contrary to what my dear friend Dr. Ranganathan said. If this would have been a picture of Prime Minister Modi with imams or bishops, even then Trinamool Congress would have objected. Now coming to some basic points, what Dr. Ranganathan mentioned. Did Trinamool Congress government
Dr. Datta,
in Bengal give free
what
land
is the reason? You haven't still given us the reason for tweeting this photo. Forget Dr. Ranganathan. He's only a member of the public here.
If you give me the courtesy of time,
yeah, just talk about why you tweeted this picture.
The equal time that you have given Dr. Ranganathan, I will finish. Give me 30 more seconds. Let me count the facts. Is it true that the Trinamool Congress government gave land, free land? Okay. Gave free land for building the largest ISKCON temple in Bengal. Yes. Was Firad Hakim changed from the head of Tarakeshwar temple? Yes. Is midday meal for all? Yes. Does Imam and Pandit get equal arms in government of West Bengal? Yes. Is 600 crore rupees given for renovation of all temples across West Bengal? Yes. Is Kanyastri, which is given across all religions, awarded by the United Nations? Yes. Did Durga Puja get the UNESCO heritage tag under Mamata Banerjee's rule? Yes. And finally, the second largest Jagannath temple in the world is being built on the lands of West Bengal near the sea beach of Digha. It is also a fact. So we are not Hindu phobic, sir. We believe in all religion. Now coming to your Rahul's question, why we object to this picture? Because we believe that inside the walls of the temple of democracy is no place for any religious leader. From Hindu, from Islam, from Buddhist, from Sikh, or anybody. Nobody has any business there. It is the temple of democracy. The only book that should be revered there is the Constitution. Not Bhagavad Gita, not Quran, not the Bible. And the Constitution says India is a sovereign, socialist, democratic, secular republic. And that's what we stand by. Anything against it, we will object. As the opposition, it's a duty to object.
Okay.
And if you don't like it, then the democracy does not stand without an opposition. And finally, one last point, 5 seconds. Prahlad Joshi, when you mention all the tweets by all the party, Prahlad Joshi, the parliamentary affairs minister. Now give me 10 seconds and then I will answer all your questions.
Calm down.
Prahlad Joshi, the parliamentary affairs minister, tweeted a picture of Prime Minister Narendra Modi doing a Sastang Pranam to the Sengol. Very good, no objections. But what he tweeted in Karnataka, Kannad language, the translation by Google is prostrations to the scepter from the king of the land. So India's descent from a constitutional democracy to theocracy is complete? That is my question.
Okay, 1 second. Riju Datta, there are several... One second. I just want to ask you a follow-up. Thank goodness you answered my question and you found it worthy. But I want to ask you a question. There are several inscriptions on some of India's leading institution buildings, including in the previous parliament, that trace their origins to prominent Hindu scriptures, sir. You may be aware of them. I can list them for you in extensive and expansive detail. Are these institutions and buildings...
On the chair of the Chief Justice, on the Lok Sabha Speaker, yes.
Yeah. So, good. I'm glad that you are aware of this. Now, are these also institutions touched since they sport these logos, these motifs, these emblems, these slogans, these inscriptions. Are they also saffron? And were they also founded by an individual like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who Mamata Banerjee respected because she began her career in the Congress? Was he also part of this Hindu brigade?
Okay, now thank you for asking that question. Again, like I said, we do not have the problem with the yajnas, the havan.
We are talking about institutions here.
When you move into,
Riju Datta, we are talking about, hang on.
Any institution.
No, don't change the goalpost. Come back to the point. You said you have a problem with...
I'm not changing the goalpost.
Excuse me, you said that you have a problem with members of any faith inside Parliament.
Yes.
Right.
Correct.
I am talking about inscriptions from Hindu scriptures inside buildings that today are celebrated as the most robust pillars of our democracy. Point one. Point two, we also have a constitution that is dedicated to a secular outlook. Do you know that the constitution also has pictures of Hindu gods, Hindu symbols? Should we rip out all those pages? Does that make the constitution any less secular?
No, absolutely
Number
not.
Number three. Let me finish.
Absolutely not.
Sir, please. Number three. One of the most so-called exalted secular countries in the world is the United States. The president there takes an oath on the Bible. Is he also a Christian fundamentalist? Can you elaborate on all these 3 points, please, Riju Datta?
Okay, yes, I will elaborate. I have, or we Trinamool Congress have no problems with any inscription of scriptures or pictures of Hindu gods and goddesses in the constitution. And what the president of the United States does, that is their business. I am no one to comment on a different country. Our only problem is this. I am a staunch Hindu, a proud Hindu. I don't need my faith to be choked down my throat. What happened inside the parliament was BJP's religious propaganda and it was Modi fanfare. That is where the problem lies. If there was an inscription, the inscription is there on the chair of the Chief Justice of India. The inscription is there on the chair of the Lok Sabha Speaker. Have we ever objected, or we are objecting now? Have we ever objected the Sengol? Did we object the Puja, Yogya?
The point is, Riju Datta, I have exposed you on national television. You cannot come out and say that that was condemnable. Why should the Supreme Court, have an invocation to an Hindu scripture? Why should our soldiers, some of who serve in our forces or in the RNAW, have inscriptions that are borrowed from the Manusmriti? I'm asking you this, sir. Should they be ripped up? Should they be erased?
I will ask you this.
No, don't ask me. Answer me tonight.
No, Rahul, then I will ask you. No, because I need to expose you as well. Because when during the parliamentary inauguration, everybody is singing Sare Jahan Se Acha, and the Delhi University under the central government removes the poem from the textbook because it is written by Iqbal, then what is that? What is that?
You're confusing a textbook with... You're comparing an apple... You're comparing an apple, sir, to... how should I put this? To perhaps a lychee. Don't do that. Compare apples to apples.
No,
now, one second. Let me bring in Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi.
Some people like lychees. Leave it to them.
One second. Yes, sir, but you can't compare the two. Don't compare the two. Okay? So, if you have to expose me, if you have to expose me like for like. You can't change a whole goalpost. You can't start playing football while I'm playing cricket with you. I'm batting with a straight bat, and you are playing football, and you are trying to bend it like Beckham. That doesn't work here. Come back to me with a fact, think it through. I give you 5-10 minutes, Google or whatever you want to do, ask a friend, call a friend.
You have your narrative.
I have no narrative. I'm only asking you to give yours out. Very quick, Dr. Ranganathan, since he mentioned you, and then I want to bring in Dr. Trivedi.
I have said it.
Yes.
Yes, no, very quickly, Rahul, can I please request you to tag this debate as A-rated, because you have so badly exposed Rijuda. It's hurtful to the eyes. I mean, children are watching this. Please be very careful next time. Just to expose one of his lies. when Rijuda says that even the priests, Hindu priests were given their stipend by Mamta Didi, let me expose him. She did that after 8 years. 8 years after she started giving exclusively only to the imams, after the High Court stepped in. Then she was forced to do this. And finally, Rijuda, please, let us stick to the meme. The meme implies that now Modi is surrounded by Hindu priests, whereas then Nehru was surrounded by the Legislative Assembly of Ambedkar and all that. That is the question. And you did not address it.
It should be.
No, it's very interesting. Dr. Ranganathan, but that picture is of
That was right.
one
This is not
second.
right.
That is of the Constituent Assembly. All those individuals were actually not elected on the back of a universal franchise. Let's not forget that also. So that's no picture of any great functional democracy. We were evolving our democracy. And let me also tell you that this bunch made the First Amendment. They were not even elected government. And they passed the First Amendment. And they also, viewers, talking about being so inclusive, had a problem with President Rajendra Prasad going to inaugurate the Somnath temple. Huge problem. So this is not some inclusive assembly of elders that we have to aspire to. In fact, we should have been asking them certain questions, but at that moment, viewers, in time, we forgot. We forgot. But nonetheless, I just want to bring in Dr. Trivedi. Dr. Trivedi, you heard Dr. Riju Datta. He's saying that by bringing in all these adhinams, priests from the adhinams, etc., you have completely saffronized India's secular parliament.
Actually, you were talking about which type of simile you can give when Riju Datta, ये जरा इको हो रहा ठीक करवा दीजिएगा. Riju Datta ji was trying to compare the letters or the words or the sentences written on the official emblems of the various institutions of the government with a poem. उसको कहेंगे ना मीटर को लीटर से कंपेयर करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. But one thing is very clear, that the picture which is being shown here, number one, that was an official film, official picture, in which he was sitting with the various members of the Constituent Assembly, like Prime Minister's photo with the cabinet. And here they are having a problem when he is having photo with the Hindu priest. Yes, this also signifies the change, sir. There was a time when there were British colonial legacy was looming still over the Nehru mindset, because that was the time in which Nehru was the Prime Minister, but who was the Viceroy? Mountbatten, till 30th of June 48. Who was the Army Chief? General Roy Butcher. And even the Navy Chief and the Air Force Chief was also British. The IB Chief was also British. Yes, I accept that at that time, the leadership of at that time, particularly Jawaharlal Nehru, because other leaders were not given a proper positioning as it was required, they were not having courage and confidence on the Indianness. And now it is the 21st century, emerging, confident, vibrant India, which is having a pride on its heritage, and not any guilty conscience on its heritage. That's why this difference is being seen. और मैं तो कहना चाहता हूं, वक्त का बदलाव देखिए रिजू दत्ता जी. अरे अब तो जो ब्रिटेन हम पे हुकूमत करता था, उसके प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने गौ पूजा की है. कहां अटके पड़े हैं साहब उस जमाने के माइंडसेट में? 75 साल पुराने के कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट का हैंगओवर ही नहीं खत्म हो रहा है. और वहां तो जो कॉलोनियल चीफ था, उसने भी इसी ढंग की पूजा करके दिखा दी, जिसको लेकर आप छाती पीट रहे हैं. दैट्स व्हाई आई वांट टू से वन थिंग, दैट ऑन 18th of May 2014, when the Sunday Guardian of Britain has written in their editorial that 16th of May 2014, on which we got a clear majority under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, he said that the 16th May 2014 should be considered India's second tryst with destiny. It should be considered as the day on which Britishers finally left India, because for over a period of decades, those who were ruling were having a legacy of the British colonial mindset. Now, for the first time, a party has come which is having no colonial legacy mindset. It's pure Indian, it's aspiration and inception both. तो साहब इसलिए ये आपको चेंज नजर आता है. And one more thing I would like to say, that those who were trying to portray this thing, मैं तो ये कहना चाहता हूँ, ये बताइए, जो सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के एम्बलम पे लिखा यतो धर्मस् ततो जया, वो सब तो बताया जा चुका. सर, ये जो अशोक का चक्र है इंडियन नेशनल फ्लैग पे, इट इज अ धम्म चक्र. ये सारनाथ में निकला धम्म चक्र है. This is the धर्म चक्र. And it is on the national flag, and you are talking about dharm nirpeksh. This is the practical problem, and the lack of knowledge that so many leaders are saying that they were the Brahmins and others Adhinams are not Brahmins, but unfortunately they have been so much over engulfed in the idea of Macaulay and Marx. They are unable to get rid of that. But कोई चिंता मत करिए, आप अपनी जगह चलते रहिए और देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, पूरी व्यवस्था के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है और कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है. इफ यू आर हैविंग द लीगेसी, इट इज योर प्रॉब्लम. द लीगेसी ऑफ द colonial hangover, we and the new emerging India has gone way ahead out of that.
Okay. Let's very quickly open this up to the other doctor also. There are 4 doctors.
Rahul will not counter, so can I counter him?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, sir. Counter. Kar lijiye. So you can attack me while you're also doing the countering. Go ahead.
Thank you.
मेरा encounter और उनका counter.
No, because when I was speaking, you interjected 4 times.
I didn't interrupt you, sir. I only asked you a follow-up question.
हमारे में नहीं. Thank you. Okay, yeah.
उनको आप counter कीजिए, मेरा encounter क्यों कर रहे हैं?
The Britain. No, Sudhanshu ji talked about Britain. Rishi Sunak is the Prime Minister of Britain. आपके और आपके प्रधानमंत्री और मेरे प्रधानमंत्री के फेवरेट मूवी जिसको लेके आप लोग कर्नाटक इलेक्शन लड़े थे, केरला स्टोरी, बैन दिखाया नहीं. The Australian Prime
sorry,
Premier.
You're factually wrong, Dr. Rinju. That movie. No, 1 second. You're factually wrong. 1 second. Don't go by WhatsApp University. As you said, Google. Don't do all of that. Google and WhatsApp are not. Look, they are very, very prone to being misused. Dr. Trivedi wants to respond to you on a point of fact. The movie was cleared. The Kerala story has been cleared by the British Censor Board. It has been shown. Okay, you have the problem with Kerala story. It's not in any way surprising, but that's okay. Yes, Dr. Trivedi, you want to quickly respond, and I want to bring in Dr. Raman right after, and Chitranjan Gagan Saab. It's okay, sir, it's okay. Today is not your day. Pick your facts.
I was just...
Don't cherry pick them.
If it was... No. If it was...
I was just trying to put forth this fact which you have already told Rahul.
Pick facts. Yes, go ahead.
Sir, yes, I was just trying to put forth the fact which Rahul you have already said, that it is not banned in Britain anywhere, and forget about why you are bothering about which country it is banned or not. I just said that the Rishi Sunak feels proud in doing the Gau Puja, but you feel inferiority complex in doing that. This is the problem. And one more thing I would like to say, with due humility, with due firmness, that before 2014,
why don't
with an exception of 6 years of Atalji's government, India was not a secular country. India was practically a partially Muslim country. And now we are making it is a true secular country. This is the fundamental problem.
Sudhanshu ji, during your Northeast campaign, Sudhanshu ji, why didn't you give the same lecture during the Northeast campaign to people of Meghalaya, Manipur to do Gau Puja?
Let me say, when, you know, we are again,
what you are talking about that?
No, 1 second. By Dr. Riju Datta's, yardstick, then Mr. Owaisi should not be taking any oath, because, as you know, in his oath, viewers, what does he say? He says, Jai Bhim, Jai Meem, Takbir, Allahu Akbar. He uses quite a few religious slogans. I don't know if this is in the Constitution. Is it? Dr. Ranganathan, you keep track of all of this. Is it in the Constitution, this business of saying Jai Meem, Jai Bhim and Takbir, Allahu Akbar? Is it in that? Is it in our book?
Rahul, let's face it. Dr. Riju Datta is as far removed from facts as West Bengal is from, Sahara. The fact of the matter is, when he clearly said that we have no objection to all those so-called Hindu mottos, but we have objection to Hindu priests entering the parliament because we are a secular country. Does he even realize what the phrase secularism or the word secularism means? It means total, 100% total separation of church and state. You cannot have state intermingling with religion. So I ask him a very simple point blank question, yes or no, Rijuda? Should the state control Hindu temples? Himmata to bol do. I will bow before you if you answer this.
What the government controlling Hindu temples?
Should the government control Hindu
Is that
temples?
what your question was?
Just
sir?
ask him, should the government be giving allowances
No.
to priests or
No.
even to imams? Should they be? Should you be giving allowances to
The
imams?
that allowances given to imams and pandits and everybody, if they are given
Why?
by a government,
Why?
should be equal.
No, no,
You
why,
know what
why, why?
secularism means?
Why?
Controlled
Why,
by a
sir?
government
You know
Why?
what
cannot be there.
secularism means?
The
No, so let
temple
me
should
ask
be
you
free.
then, if you really want to go down this secular route,
Temples should be free
why
of
in,
government
why in,
control.
why in
Dr. Ranganathan.
educational institutions in classrooms should a hijab be worn? Tell me, sir. Since it's intrinsic to religion, tell me, you have a problem with that. Then go the French way. Riju Datta.
Correct.
Don't talk. Don't talk.
You're bringing a hijab. Listen.
I'm
Rahul,
asking you.
The
You are
hijab
not
rule.
secular.
the
Now
hijab
look at how
rule
excited
that
he's
you're
going to
bringing
get.
in- No,
He
no,
will-
the Prime
he will get
Minister-
very excited, viewers.
The Prime Minister.
Oh my God,
brought in-
37% vote
Prime
is
Minister
slipping
brought
out
in
of
the
Riju
same
Datta's
topic.
grasp. My God, look at how much it hurts him. Oh my God. Oh my God.
The Prime Minister of India
Actually, viewers,
and Times Now
70%,
brought in the same issue in
70%,
Karnataka. They
70% of the
invoked
vote in
Bajrangbali.
certain
Karnataka
constituencies
shown their way.
will slip out of their hands. These are the people, viewers. They talk about
The Prime
secularism.
Minister with the
These
full
are the
backing
people.
of
No, let me
Times
tell
Now
you. These are the
invoked
people.
Bajrangbali and hijab.
One
What
second, one
happened?
second.
You saw in
These are the
Karnataka,
people,
no?
viewers.
So keep on
These are the
doing that.
people.
You are helping them.
These are the
You are
people who
helping
did
them.
a U-turn when they
Keep
were
on
in
doing
opposition and when they were in power. When they were in power, they banned Kerala's story. When they were not in power, viewers, they were supporting the author of Lajja Taslima Nasreen. Catch them do that today. Catch them do that today. No, they won't. Nonetheless, Dr. Sumansi Raman, let me bring you in. Let me bring you in because I want to ask you, sir, when the RJD tweets a photograph, Parliament looks like a coffin, or there is Brahmin supremacism on view on the floor of the House, are they being accurate at all? Are any of these tweets by the RJD accurate?
Rahul, before that I just wanted to correct you. You said about the photograph with the Constituent Assembly members not being elected. They were indirectly elected because they were elected by the members of the Provincial Council. So that is, I think that they represent the people of India a little more than the Adinams
Sorry, that's the first cabinet.
represent the people
They're
of
not
India
elected.
because at least though they were indirectly
Sir, did you
elected
not
by
hear
people.
what I said?
That's- No, I'm
It
sorry.
was not a universal
The
franchise.
Constituent
And no, one
Assembly
second, and let me also tell you, sir, the provincial
may not have
assembly
been
elections
universal
were done
franchise, but
on communal lines.
So
Do
when
you
the
support
Adinams-
separate electorates? Do you support separate electorates, doctor?
Adinams.
I'm asking you, don't go about Adinams. You're talking about Adinams representing nobody or this, that, the other. I'm asking you a fundamental question. Do you support separate electorates? Do you support separate electorates?
This happened in British times.
Do you or do you
Nobody
not?
supports
So then
separate
forget it,
electorates.
sir. We were not a guided democracy. We are not a
I do
guided
not.
democracy today.
I
If
do
you were a
not.
guided democracy,
I'm
I'm sorry, sir. All those
I'm
people
sorry.
didn't have any
At least there
legitimacy.
was-
Sorry,
So the
in my
Adinams
eyes.
were
Maybe in
elected by
yours.
whom?
Maybe in yours.
Who elected Adinams?
Maybe yours. Maybe
So
yours.
who elected the
Maybe
Adinams?
yours. And secondly, I asked you a question.
I'm sorry.
I asked you a question. You didn't want to answer
I'm
my
coming to that
question.
question. Yeah,
So
I'm
you
coming to
start
that question.
nitpicking. I asked you a
Yeah.
question.
No,
The
I'm
RJD
answering that.
The RJD tweets, Parliament looks like a coffin. And there is
RJD's
Brahminical,
tweet
hang on,
wasn't-
supremacism
wasn't
on
poor
display.
taste.
Is this right or wrong? Answer the
Yeah.
question.
1 second. As far as the comparison with the coffin, it was in poor taste. I don't think they should have put that out because especially whatever it is, political differences apart, it's a new parliament on which their members are also going to be sitting from the next session. So I think it was in poor taste. So there's no doubt about that. The second part is this move towards a more theocratic state, and that is what is
Sir,
is of
Brahmin
great power to
supremacism is
everybody
what was said.
who
Can you
looked
say
at the
this is
word
Brahmin
secular.
supremacism? Brahminical
Not-
supremacism,
no.
is it? Yes or no?
Maybe not Brahmin, not
there you go.
Brahminical, Hindu supremacism. If you
Hindu
want to
supremacism.
rephrase it, if you want to rephrase it, please feel free to. Adinams are not Brahmins. I know because I come from the state of the Adinams. So therefore, I know that they are not Brahmins. My point is very, very simple. My point is religion has a place, and the point is the way the show was conducted, particularly, the installation of the Sengols with all the Adinams following and all of that, it did not look like a secular function.
Right. It
all.
did when
Yes,
Nehru,
there was a
when
prayer,
Nehru pranced
meeting
around
was
with it,
held
his
where
walking
he-
stick, it was okay. When Nehru
did
pranced
not-
around with his
Nehru,
walking stick with
excuse
his...
me,
No, I'll show you the
excuse
picture of
me.
Nehru, looking delightfully discomfited.
Did Nehru install
Let's put it there. Let's
did
put it
Nehru
there.
install it in Parliament?
My dear friend,
Oh, I think
it is
I
a
missed
symbol
that.
of righteousness.
I didn't know Nehru had installed it in Parliament.
Dr. Raman...
So what? That's nitpicking.
No, hang on. It's
okay.
not even nitpicking. He's absolutely wrong. Are you saying that the
No, how
Sengol
is
is
it
a sacred...
nitpicking?
Is
How
the
is
No,
it
no, 1
nitpicking?
second.
At
Is
the
the
time
Sengol
of
a sacred
independence-
symbol, or is it a symbol of our dharmic, philosophical orientation? Tell me. Are you going to twist it?
Okay.
There
Now,
we have Nehru.
now let...
There we have Nehru.
No, you should not twist it, you should not bend it also. That's wrong. It should
You're
be
doing
straight.
both.
That's the purpose of the
You're
symbol.
doing
It
both.
should not be twisted.
Twisting
It should
and
not be
bending.
bent. No, in fact, yesterday Mr. Stalin had
Sir,
said...
don't bend over
on the first
backwards
day
to
itself
appease
it
a
got
particular
bent. That was
community
the
tonight.
comment of the Tamil Nadu
Don't
Chief
do this.
Minister.
It's not right.
Nobody is
I mean,
appeasing.
can you
Nobody is
believe
appeasing.
Dr.
Nobody is
Suman C.
appeasing.
Raman is comparing the Sengol to
I
some
think the
religious
government-
artifact? This is ridiculous. Viewers,
very
anyone will know that there is
Who
that there
accompanied
is
the
a
Sengol?
dharmic
No,
symbolism,
at the
and
Prime
dharma is
Minister
not
carried
the same as
Sengol,
religion.
placed it
Please.
there. That's a different issue.
No, it's not. Now, don't say it's a different issue. Now, viewers, let me tell you, there are 4
Tevaram
doctors on
is
this
what?
show. 1 second.
Have
There
you
are
heard
4
of the
doctors on
Tevaram?
this show.
Please ask Dr. Ranganathan what the Tevaram is.
Okay, 1 second. There are 4
Sudhanshu ji,
doctors
please
on
ask
this
Dr.
show,
Anand
viewers.
Ranganathan
4 of them.
Whether the Tevaram
Okay,
is a
one sec,
Shaivite,
one second,
is
one
a
second.
Shaivite religious
1 second. There are
text
4
or not.
doctors on this show, viewers.
was what was
and let me tell you,
recited.
the badly mauled body of truth is going into a coffin designed by the RJD. That's what's happening on this show. And the RJD is here with us. Gaganji is here with us. Chitranjan Gagan Sahab. Good evening, sir. Sorry to have kept you waiting. आपका patience मैं उससे आभारी हूँ. मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, गगन जी. It's a very straight question. क्या आपको हमारे ये जो संसद हैं इनको एक कॉफिन से कंपेयर करना चाहिए था? सिंपल.
राहुल जी सिंपली में जो डिजाइन है आपके जो बना है नया संसद भवन उसका डिजाइन है. ट्वीट में यह नहीं कहा गया है कि यह क्या है. ट्वीट में यह पूछा गया है कि यह क्या है. अब उसके बाद आप उसको जिस रूप में आप अर्थ निकालिए. सवाल है कि जब कॉफिन को आप जो है सो मानते हैं कि यह शायद नहीं इसका इस्तेमाल होना चाहिए तो नक्शा तो उसी ढंग का है. कोई नक्शा उसमें रखा गया है. अब इस पर आप इसको गलत ढंग से ट्विस्ट कर रहे हैं. वो तो सवाल पूछा गया है कि क्या है. जो कॉफिन का जो डिजाइन होता है वही डिजाइन आपका पार्लियामेंट का है. तो ये आप समझ रहे हैं कि वह कॉफिन है या क्या है, वो आपकी समझ है. उसमें कहीं नहीं आरजेडी कहीं उसमें यह नहीं लिखती है. पहली बात. दूसरी बात, अगर किसी व्यक्ति को खूब पहनावा पहना दीजिए, उसको आभूषण से ऊपर से नीचा तक आभूषण पहना दीजिए और उसके अंदर आत्मा नहीं रहे तो फिर उस व्यक्ति के पहनाए हुए आभूषण का और उस वस्त्र का क्या महत्व.
सेंगोल आपको एक विलन का डंडा लग रहा है. सेंगोल आपको एक विलन का डंडा लग रहा है.
नहीं राहुल जी
नहीं एक विलन की छड़ी लग रही है आपको. सेंगोल मुझे आप बता दीजिए सर. मैं वो पिक्चर भी दिखा दूंगा. वो अमरीश पुरी है आई थिंक.
राहुल जी
मैं ज्यादा हिंदी फिल्म नहीं देखता हूं तो मेरे को आप प्लीज एक्सक्यूज कर दीजिए अगर मैंने गलत आइडेंटिफाई किया. ये अमरीश पुरी है और कोई मूवी है लोहा नाम का और ये डंडा लेके घूम रहे हैं. इज दिस सेंगोल अ डंडा फॉर यू?
मैं जब बोल रहा हूं तो आप लगते हैं बीच में क्रॉस करने. और लोग बोल रहे थे तो जो चुपचाप सुन रहे थे. यही आप लोगों की ये बहुत बड़ी कमी है. सवाल मैं कर रहा हूं उसका बीच में जवाब देता हूं तो वह जब आत्मा ही उसमें नहीं है. आप पार्लियामेंट के याद कीजिए श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी क्वाइट इंडिया मूवमेंट का विरोध किए थे. उसके बावजूद भी जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने उन्हें अपने कैबिनेट में रखा. डॉक्टर भीमराव अंबेडकर उनका जो चुनाव क्षेत्र से हुआ चला गया था पूर्वी पाकिस्तान में, तत्कालीन पूर्वी पाकिस्तान में. कांग्रेस सदस्य से इस्तीफा दिलवाकर वहां से उनको चुनकर संसद में लाया गया। क्या यही संसद है? जो बाइकआउट किया गया विपक्ष के द्वारा, नहीं विपक्ष के द्वारा बाइकआउट किया गया। एक तो आपने राष्ट्रपति को नहीं बुलाया, जो
वो सब आप भूलिए सर, मैं उस पे नहीं जा रहा हूं। मैं आपसे ये पूछ रहा हूं, आपने जवाब दे दिया, अब आपको जनता जज करेगी। धन्यवाद गगन जी, आपने बहुत तीखा जवाब दिया है। आप सोचते हैं कि हम सब लोग अपने, देखिए मैं आपसे लड़ना नहीं चाहता हूं,
संविधान के अनुसार देश चलेगा।
सर आप बड़े भले आदमी हैं।
संविधान के आधार पर नहीं चलेगा।
अच्छा ठीक
देश जो है सो लोकतंत्र।
ठीक है सर, आप कफन में डाल दो सर,
वाली है।
आप कफन में डाल दो। वैसे भी आप लोग कहते ही हैं कि मोदी जी को मोदी जी को कफन में ही डालना चाहते हैं आप, तो आप डाल ही दीजिए। मेरे को मुझे अब आप फारिग कर दीजिए सर।
कोई विपक्ष नहीं रहे, विपक्षहीन पार्लियामेंट आप चाह रहे हैं।
डॉक्टर सुधांशु त्रिवेदी, वुड यू लाइक टू रिस्पॉन्ड?
कैन आई से समथिंग?
यस प्लीज।
विपक्ष की पार्टी हो।
डॉक्टर त्रिवेदी आपको जवाब दें।
फर्स्ट थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू से फर्स्ट थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू से कि जैसे उन्होंने ये कहने की कोशिश की कि साहब समझ लीजिए, हम तो ऐसा नहीं समझ रहे थे। यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड बाई विच समझ आरजेडी इज रनिंग बिहार, बट वन थिंग इज वेरी क्लियर सर, देश की जनता की समझ बिल्कुल अलग है। अपनी नाकाम हसरतों के जनाजे को नफरत के ताबूत में दिखाने के मौके बहुत मिलने वाले थे आपको, बट यू शुड हैव लीव्ड इट, देन इट वुड हैव बीन बेटर।
ओके,
बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली अरे भाई आप ये बताइए, चलिए उसके लिए राष्ट्रपति बनने के बाद आपने जितना उनका अपमान किया है, राष्ट्रपत्नी शब्द बोला है, उनको इविल डिजाइन का प्रतीक बनाएगा। और छोड़िए, प्रेसिडेंट हैज गिवन देयर कांग्रेचुलेशन लेटर व्हिच वाज रेड इन द पार्लियामेंट।
एनीहाउ व्यूअर्स,
और एक और बात कह दो, सुनिए राहुल, देखिए एक लाइन कह दो, रिजू दत्ता और सबने कहा कि पार्लियामेंट इज द टेंपल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। सुनिए, दे हैव सेड दैट द पार्लियामेंट इज द टेंपल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी। अब कल के दिन कहेंगे व्हाई टेंपल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, व्हाई नॉट मस्जिद ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी एंड द चर्च ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी? And you know, when you say that the temple of democracy, it represents true secularism. Because when you go into the temple, there is no restriction of going anywhere. When you go into the mosque, you cannot go to church.
Okay,
when you go into the church, you cannot go anywhere. But
my point is,
it is a liberal attitude that
okay,
if you go to temple, even if you go to Mazar, it hardly matters.
Okay, my point is, let's lower everyone's faders. Look, all these people who talk about the prestige of the president, if they were so bothered about the prestige of this president because she happens to be an Adivasi, why didn't they elect her unopposed? But no, at that time they were propping up an individual from an upper caste. Now I'm not going to take the name of the caste because that's not my style, viewers. All of them were lining up. They should have elected her unopposed. It's happened in the past. But no, viewers, no, they wanted her not to be president. They didn't want her to be president because they didn't think she was meriting it. And today they talk about her esteem and her prestige. It's just, it's all very cleverly designed propaganda. And I just leave it at that, viewers, because I need to move on to another story which bothers all of us, should bother all of us. The ecosystem which boycotted the pride of India, the new parliament yesterday. Well, today, they are backing those who betrayed the idea of India. Those who consider Burhan and Yaqub as sons of the soil are now pleading for mercy and justice for convicted terrorist Yasin Malik. For 33 years, the wheels of justice were crippled with political patronage, inaction, and of course, inaction born out of an appeasement politics. But now, when Yasin Malik has been sentenced to life imprisonment and the agency concerned demands death for him, they have a problem. They say, no, no, no. Don't hang him. Don't hang him. Viewers, I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder what is the problem. They say this is not the rarest of rare case. Well, viewers, a person who went on television and confessed to having a role in the killing of a Kashmiri Hindu, which really started the pogrom against Hindus in the 90s, viewers, a person who openly shot and plotted the murder and the killing, viewers, of 4 officers of our military. That person, his crimes, if they are not the rarest of rare, I don't know what are. Anyhow, let me just open this up. Nirmal Khanna, wife of martyred squadron leader Ravi Khanna, joins us. Thank you very much, Ms. Khanna, for speaking to us this evening. And I just want to ask you, there is a whole group of people who say that he should not be given the death penalty. Now, what is your view on this? Do you believe Yasin Malik should be shown mercy on the impleadings of this ecosystem, or should he not be shown mercy?
सबसे पहले राहुल जी, आपको मेरा हार्दिक अभिनंदन, नमस्कार। आपके इस सवाल का जवाब मैं ऐसे दूंगी, मुझे तो इतनी ही समझ है कि देशद्रोही कोई भी हो, देशद्रोही के लिए कोई मर्सी नहीं होनी चाहिए। मेरे लिए राष्ट्र सर्वोपरि है, यही मेरा चरित्र है, और मेरे से आप यही सुनेंगे कि जो देशद्रोही हो उसके लिए कोई मर्सी नहीं होनी चाहिए।
Well, I think she's speaking.
आप देखिए,
yes,
बड़े
please go ahead.
अफसोस की बात है, आप
बोलिए मैम, प्लीज आप बोलिए, प्लीज खत्म कीजिए। यस, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
आज से 33 साल पहले 25 जनवरी 1990 को यह हादसा हुआ था, और तब से लेके आज तक आप मुझे देखें, मैं कहती हूँ ईश्वर ने मुझसे बड़ी मेहनत करवाई है, क्योंकि शायद मेरे अंदर भी कोई शहीद समाया हुआ है जो देश को प्यार करता है। और वीर भोग्यो वसुंधरा जो कहते हैं, हमारे ये वीर जो कि वसुंधरा की रक्षा के लिए बने हैं, और कहते हैं भोग्यो, भोग्यो तो है लेकिन वो अपना समर्पित भी तो सब कुछ कर देते हैं, तभी तो वो भोग सकते हैं। और मेरे हिसाब से असुरों के लिए, उन वीरों की शहादत के सामने ये वसुंधरा उनको बिल्कुल कोई जगह नहीं दे सकती। मेरे हिसाब से स्क्वाड्रन लीडर रवि खन्ना along with 3 एयर फोर्स पर्सनल्स ये इसका पीछा कर रहे हैं तब से। इसने तो रास्ते में खड़े एक मासूम लोगों को, निहत्थे लोगों को मार दिया। आज ये बात समझनी चाहिए कि देश में जो लोग कह रहे हैं कि इसको मर्सी, इसके लिए जी आपको दया भावना होनी चाहिए, बहुत बढ़िया बात है। दया उसके लिए करनी चाहिए जो दया का पात्र हो, बिना इस बात के किसी पर दया ऐसे बांटते फिरना। वो ऐसे कहिए जैसे रेत में आप टन के टन घी डाल दीजिए, तो जब धूप चढ़ती है तो वो इवेपोरेट हो जाता है।
Well, let me tell you,
मैं तो हाथ जोड़ के यही विनती पूरे देश से भी करूंगी
जी,
कि जब अपने सीने में गोली लगती है, अपने घर के अपने पेट की शहादत होती है कहीं पे, या अपने सिर की होती है, तो तब इंसान बोली कुछ और बोलता है। और आज कई लीडर्स हैं, कई लोग हैं जो खड़े हुए हैं, मुझे बड़ा अफसोस हो रहा है सुन के। मेरे ये हमारे होम मिनिस्टर थे मुफ्ती मोहम्मद सैयद, मेरे नेक्स्ट डोर नेबर थे जब मेरे साथ ये हादसा हुआ है। उनकी बेटी की खातिर एक दूसरी बेटी का घर खराब हुआ, तो इतना दायरा सीमित क्यों है, इतना दायरा छोटा क्यों है कि अपनी बेटी बेटी है और देश की बेटी बेटी नहीं है जी। मुझे बड़ा अफसोस होता है, और मैं हमेशा इस देश के लिए ही हर उस व्यक्ति को सम्मान दूंगी जिसके हृदय में देश सर्वोपरि की धड़कन धड़कती है। बस इससे ज्यादा मुझे कुछ नहीं पता।
एक्चुअली आज मैम, I think to show you respect, I don't want to go into a debate. I don't want these two other gentlemen who have joined this debate, Adil Nazir and Majid Haidari, to sit here and pontificate. I just want to say, viewers, we live in a country where for Yaqub Memon, viewers, the Supreme Court was opened at midnight. For Afzal Guru, they sang dirges in JNU, one of our top and most prestigious universities. For Burhan Wani, they denied his terror antecedents. For the Indian Mujahideen, they shed tears. For the PFI, they foot their bills to represent them, to get them off the hook, to vacate the ban. And viewers, for sectarian parties, they open the doors of our legislatures. This is the India that we have come to live in, viewers. It's your call. It's your call to call out this duplicity. These individuals who think nothing of boycotting the idea of India as represented by Parliament, but give unstinted backing to those who are part of a cabal that wants to break Bharat. Think about it, viewers. I will not let the others pontificate or use this platform to spread their venal commentary tonight. So I'll leave it at this. Thank you for watching.